sure.
Welcome to Startalk with your hosts, Colin and Marty.
Hey, welcome to Startalk, and I'm broadcasting live on StreamYard here from the Fairmont Hotel in Vancouver, which is why I have a slightly different background tonight. Welcome, Martino. What's going on?
Hey, Colin, I see you've come into some good fortune. Folks, you didn't know this, but Mr. Weave just bought the Fairmont, and he's testing out a little private room there. So enjoy the evening, my friend.
Yep, it's going to be an early morning, so it's best to stay at the airport and not have to try and beat traffic at 5 o'clock in the morning. And
Baby, you
remember those days? Remember when we used to do that? We used to have lobby call, and
oh yeah,
you know, we're traveling all over the place, and sometimes
everywhere
we didn't even know where we were going.
Lobby
I don't
call,
think
we had a stage call. We had
I
calls.
think we only missed a flight once. Do you remember that?
That I don't. You may have a better recall than myself.
I have a better recall because we ended up at the airport, and it was for 1 o'clock, and we all showed up. We had our bags. We were all ready to go, and the person at the front desk said, "Mr. Kramer, the flight left at 11." And you said, no, flight goes at 1 o'clock. Here's my documentazi.
Right.
And you gave it the fax, and you know, remember those fax machines? They didn't really
we
that well.
The printout.
It said 1, but the other one was missing. So it should have said 11.
I see.
And do you remember that we were going to
I can't remember where we were going, but
the balloon festival.
I had records. You're very right about the record keeping.
It was the balloon festival.
It was we did that hot air balloon thing. I remember.
Hot air balloon festival.
It was in Texas. We were.
No, it was Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, Mexico, there you go. Yeah,
and it was with
right.
the tube.
I have a drink with those balloons on.
Remember the fee-way bill and the tubes? Anyway, we got there so late that they took us directly from the airport.
That's
and
right.
Literally, we changed in the van.
Yeah.
And the door of the van slid open, and we walked right up on stage, and we started playing.
Yeah, that's right. Those were the days, my friend.
Oh, it was incredible. But that was the only time we ever missed a flight, and it wasn't your fault.
No,
it was the fax machine's fault.
Well, you know, faxes. We have faxes.
Thermal faxes. They were cool at the time, but
very bad. Very bad. So I see that the Who just announced massive touring. Ringo just announced massive touring.
Oh,
the Stones announced massive touring. So it's going to be all good stuff, but unfortunately for us, the Who only do one Canadian date, and it's in Toronto. So I mean, but they're close. They're in Portland, and I thought I might reach out to Zach, Ringo's son, who's drumming with the band, and Simon Townsend's on keyboards, and they got another girl, and they've got a replacement bass for Entwistle, of course, because he passed, and that's going to be the show with Roger and Pete. So I thought I'd reach out to Zach, Ringo's son, tell him what you and I are all about, see if we can get ourselves down to Portland via you and I driving down, and then do a live
Startalk from Portland.
From there, walk it in through Zach Starkey, Ringo's son, and then connect the dots. I did the Who farewell tour in the 80s. I have the shirt. I have all that from the Tacoma Dome before they tore it down. But now to connect the dots 30, 40 years later through Ringo's son and come right in and have the opportunity, it could be the biggest show you and I are ever privy to.
Well, they've got all those King Domes. Is the King Dome still there? I don't even think it's
gone.
There.
They're gone.
It's Safeco Field, and
I think it's Mondo something or Monda something, but it's
they've got the new hockey team there in Seattle.
Yeah.
But you're talking Portland, so I haven't been to the big stadium in Portland.
No, nor have I. And we might just be able to get comps, i.e., backstage, all access, possible lamb meet and greet versus complimentary tickets versus VIP credentials. So when the time comes, as the time draws near, I'm going to reach out to Zach to come on to the show first, and then see if I can't carry it over to a live in Portland where they play.
Wow. Well, we've got a very interesting guest with us tonight.
Okay.
And I've met her on a couple of different occasions, and it turns out that I didn't really. She invited me to be on another podcast.
Oh.
And we realized that we had met at a different event.
Really?
It was actually on a marketing cruise,
Tremendous.
which is kind of cool. And we'll talk about that when she comes
Sure.
on. But I think you've got a few things that you want to show to us tonight.
Well, yeah,
always about collectibles. I like to see what you've been digging through and what you've been finding, and
amassing.
You make everybody jealous when you show us some of your rare finds, and it's all about rarities. Right?
You know, I got a new sign behind me for everybody. It's just in, not to be mistaken with Justin Trudeau. It should just in.
That's a dangerous sign to be waving these days.
I'm just in. But anyways, behind this magic door, like the old game shows, is a box, a plastic container. Everything in there, it's like a mystery thing, has gone in there since our last show, Colin. I couldn't remember if you said to me, Martino, tell me what's in there right now, I'll give you $1 million. I couldn't. I have no recall because so much stuff goes in there that it's sort of like a mystery. So what I'm going to do, little did you know, and maybe our fans don't know this, you and I completed a full year last year of 23 episodes. This year, we're entering, my old friend, into the second season. This is episode 5 of the second season. Can you believe how fast time is going? You're flying all over the place. You're going to conventions. You're launching things. You're session wire. You're like the busiest guy on the planet. Garnet, the whole team, we're just doing it. And then that launch of those goats, I mean, I can't wait. Those goats are going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. And
I'll let you set up the slides. You do the thing. You do your best. You're the best.
Well, I think what I'll do is I'll share my screen. Now, normally I have 3 monitors up, but because I'm in this hotel, I'm just going to fire this up. When I saw this one, I had to laugh. And, of course, we're all about having a laugh.
We all laugh, yeah.
So let me share.
You're right. So what are you going to show us first, Carl?
I'll show you.
Okay, please.
Now, you might see some weirdness here because there we go.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, what I want to do with that, that's the one that I'm sending out to everybody, stay at home and do nothing. But I want to change it to stay at home and then yours and my quote and watch television.
There you go.
Take out do nothing and watch television.
Can't get in trouble watching television. That's the old saying, huh?
But hey, they're on Ticketmaster. You know what I'm saying? And it's a pretty cool thing for everybody to be doing. And that way, when they stay at home, they're listening to us, Colin. And we're far more interesting than going out and walking on the streets and getting clubbed and mugged and everything. And I think we're better off to have all our listeners listening to us in this time frame.
Safer that way.
Oh, look at this, what you got. Amazing. Well, you were there. You were in Toledo in 2001.
Sorry.
There. Yeah. And then you were also at the River Dance.
Where was that River Dome?
That's a very good question. I tried to bring my recall back to that point, but I couldn't. All I know is it was when we were.
Oh, I remember now.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. But I don't have any photos of that. Let's move on because you've got these patches. We saw these last week, right?
Yeah, we saw them, but I was holding them up, and thank you for doing them this way. Because on the left is the keychain minus keys, and on the right is the patch. Now, our old friend Bob Boyson drew both of these. He was hired by the Guess Who as their artist to do this. Now, there was a contest many, many years ago in Winnipeg to name the beaver. The beaver did get a name. And you know it, I know it, but our fans don't know it. So we're going to leave that. We may implement a contest when the goats come out. You guess this beaver, and you might get shortlisted on the whitelist for the goats. How's that?
Well, I think you teased everybody last week, and we never really gave out the name. So maybe we got to give out the name tonight.
You want to give the name out ahead of? You want to put the cart in front of the horse?
Well, we could. We don't. We've only got.
Your call. It's your call. It's
yeah. Let's give them the name because there's only 3 or 4 people. There's people going to be joining us very shortly.
I hear you. Okay. So for those who are in the chat and with us tonight, welcome. Of course, thank you. And the name of the beaver is none other than Bucky. Bucky the beaver.
Bucky the beaver. So it'll be hashtag Bucky tonight.
That's right. And also, Bob went on to do the Sony commercials for Walkman. Anyways, that's for another day. This is a collage, Colin, of foreign offshore picture sleeves. Picture sleeves are photos of the band that didn't necessarily make it to the album or the jacket or the linear notes or a booklet. And they're just taken from all over the world by random, whether it's a house photographer, the promoter's photographer, whatever. So consequently, you get
usually not even approved by the band themselves.
True. Oh, no, the artist 9 out of 10. You're right, 100%. Knew nothing, didn't have a clue how they even got there. But anyways, that's BTO. That's 7 of them, and those arrived, as I told you, in the last 3 to 4 months. I never had these in my collection, Colin. I have way more, but I was proud to add those. So we can move on out of there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, now this I introduced to you a while back. It's also very rare. Now that we've got an opportunity, the bottom one is a These Eyes and a Lightfoot from Greece on a green label. So that's pretty rare. Now, if you scroll upwards, yeah, this is from Polish on this side, and on the inside here, this is a piece of plastic, and it's got the grooves like the Mad magazine and the Life magazine.
Yeah, they usually came in magazines in the center. You'd rip them out.
Exactly. And it's got Mungo Jerry, and it's got the guest.
Mungo Jerry, what was his big hit?
In the summertime.
In the summertime, that's right. I
So,
think that was maybe their only hit.
That's right. You're probably very right. Now, for the moment, yeah. So here's an even rarer thing, because this is the same photo that's on the American Woman album, which is fine.
Correct.
Now, this happens to be an EP. An EP means an extended play. It could be 3 songs, a 2-sided and a 1, or it could be 4. In this case, it's 4. And you get American Running, Hand Me Down in No Time on the same
piece of vinyl.
Same vinyl, but it's a 7-inch. It's not a 12-inch. Very, very rare out of Brazil. I got that. So carry on.
Wow. I'd like to have that one in my collection.
Yeah. Here's one that was taken. All these photos, the collage, black and white and color, were taken in Kildonan Park in Winnipeg. There's Randy behind Burton. There's Gary to the left and Jim Cale. You look at
Gary, for those of you that remember, he was on the show last year.
Peterson, our old friend, was on our show, and he had awards and prestigious stuff, and he talked eloquently. What a pleasure. And God willing, when Colin gets back from his trip, we're going to go down to Portland and to Puyallup, at the casino on a cordial invite of Gary to meet the band and everything and see them. And then we'll have an update and maybe do an episode. Now, here's a series of serious picture sleeves. These are 2-sided vinyl, color sleeves, and black and white with color. Very, very hard. Very, very hard, especially the 60s and 70s.
Twinkle Toes. I've never even heard that.
No, Twinkle Toes is an amazing thing, and Where Is Tomorrow? There was some amazing stuff that went on these things. They tried to get the hits, but sometimes they couldn't, so they did a launch of something else. Now, this one, again, is a very seldom seen Righteous Brothers. He Will Break Your Heart, and the backside, He on Verb. Now, those guys were classy. We did a tribute thing, which you performed on and everything, and the same thing. They were amazing. Now, this is possibly there's two of these, the front and the back, which you can show and then come back to the front, please. There's the back, Strawberry Hills and Penny Lane. Come back to the first one, please. There we are. That's the Beatles. That is one of the rarest and sought after Beatles picture sleeves. So it's a single.
What would you say? I was going to say, what would you say something like that's worth?
On the low, right now, a 50-bucker. On the high, $1.25. But that's just in common circle. World, it could be a whole different scenario, right?
Right.
You don't know. Now this, virtually unseen. In all my years of collecting picture sleeves, I think I could be wrong. This could be maybe the only one in a shiny, glossy, plasticized sleeve. I may have a few others, but I don't think so. To the best of my recall, this is the only one.
No, I've never seen it.
No,
and we got to make sure we've got room for our guest, because I know that she's got lots of big stories. Wow, look at that.
This one's Rick, The Shadows, Volume 2, 4.
Wonderful.
Rare. Move on. Get all the wagons rolling. We lost contact. We lost our broadcast. We lost our feed. We be gone, old friend.
Really? Am I still here with you?
This could. There I am. I'm back. He got me back. Where's my friend Colin? Where's my buddy Colin? Hey, Colin. Come on back. Hey.
Can you hear?
Well,
I don't know.
Magic.
I paid the extra $30 for the upgraded Wi-Fi, and I'm not sure that it's working. Hey, Terry. Nice to see you. Who else we got in here tonight? Oh, wow.
Again.
There's Philip.
Come on back, Colin. Yeah.
Philip, Christopher, Stevenson.
We got a hi from Terry Holland. I caught that. And a good evening, gentlemen, from Keyword Management. Sorry for the technical difficulties, gentlemen. We got a lot of people, but we have to. Yeah, Lori. Hey guys, good to see you too. Glad to see you. We're this is how not to be seen. Taken from the Monty Python. We're doing the updates.
Can you hear me, Marty?
Hey, circles. The circle game. That's a good match. I'm back. I hope you're back. Come on. Hey, you're back. So let's see if we can bring the guest in. Free the goats. I agree, Philip Ross.
All right. Let's, we've got a special guest, Dr. Andrea.
Yeah.
Miller. Let's bring her on, Garnet.
Here we are. She's coming. She's muted. Unfortunately, she's muted herself. I hope she unmutes and sees it.
Hi.
Hey. Wow.
Just so you guys know, Colin's room looks just like my hotel room, but we're in two different rooms, just so you know.
There we go.
In the same hotel room. That's the thing.
We are in this, I believe we're in the same chain, because I was looking at his bed going, well, that looks just like my bed.
He hasn't bought the rest of the hotels yet. He's just trying this one out for comfort. If he likes it, he's going to buy all the rest.
I should have looked around for a better background, but I quickly sat up at the desk. And this
what are you going to put in the hotel room?
Luckily, your bed is made. I've been on shows with people, and I'm like, they forgot to make the bed.
Oh, no.
Literally just checked in. Well, wait a second. Maybe I'll get the same background as you if I change camera positions. There we go.
Yeah, I put it on the bed and then pulled my curtain shut.
Yeah, and Andrea there. Andrea Adams Miller, Doctor.
Yes, so nice to meet you, Marty. We've had so much fun talking about you. I have a picture to show you guys. I don't know if we'll be.
Let's see how it comes up. Try it. Andrea froze.
She's froze.
Oh,
We're
I
having a little
wonder why.
difficulty tonight.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on there. The world is being weird tonight. So my husband's name is Tommy.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see this. See this
Uh,
picture here. I
I see
painted it,
Tommy.
so it's the
Yeah.
Who's Tommy. So I
Oh.
figured we were showing things. So I painted this. This is it's huge, like bigger than 20 by. I think it's 20 by 24.
Is it framed?
And yes, it is framed, and
Great.
the pictures around it. Oh, actually, this is the Kiss pinball machine. My husband and I own a pinball and video
Pinball
game
wizard.
business.
You're in
Yeah,
what?
so
What are you? What is?
Oh, you've got that in common with Marty because he's got some pinballs.
What? I've got
And,
10. I've got 10 of the
I've
oldest
got you
stuff.
beat.
How many? Well, you got 20 probably because you're in the biz. though.
28.
How many? 28.
Wow.
28 of them.
Are they in your house though? Frozen again.
It's going to be one of those nights, Martino. So
No,
tell
no,
us about
You can't worry. So 20.
what's your favorite pinball?
Yeah,
Andrew?
that's right. What's your favorite?
So, boy, that's a hard one. So I really like the Who's Tommy because I like that you can play it
course.
blind, and I like the music in it because I like to sing to it. But I think my favorite is probably Funhouse.
Funhouse is a good game.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then we have several Simpsons and the Addams Family,
That's excellent.
and so
That's
yeah.
excellent.
So
Where do you store
a lot
them
of
all?
them.
Where do you store them all? In a warehouse, or you play them, or
Some of them are on location at different venues, and then we
around
have
town?
I think we have 5 or 6 of them in the house.
Wow.
It's changing all the time, and then we
Nice.
have an arcade set up as well, and in our corn shed.
So
So
if I ever need any repairs on my mechanicals, we can call Tom. We can call Tom in on the job, right?
my husband is very good at that. In fact, when we've been on the road, my friends are always like, "Bring your husband along so he can fix
So he
my
can
arcade
tweak my
games."
stuff. Yeah, I like it. I
So
love Bonnie Arnold. But anyways, carry on, Call.
love talking about pinballs, but because we were frozen and cutting in and out, didn't give a chance to get your bio. Why don't you just go ahead and give us a little information on yourself, and
Sure.
we can get rolling here because I had no idea you had pinballs. That's amazing.
Nor did I.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. In fact, that's some of my celebrity connections is because of pinball. So, I'm Dr. Andrea Adams Miller.
Frozen.
Frozen again.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andrea Adams Miller, frozen in time. You've seen this fruit.
The funny thing is I can hear everything, but I can't always see me. So you guys know me from the Women of Crypto or Ladies of Crypto.
Oh,
So
yeah, you'd be
I
one
run
of those
that.
ladies.
Yeah, so I've been a bee. So the cryptocurrency bees.social and our social.
Welcome, bees. We've got bees here tonight.
Welcome, bees.
We got a hive.
Why not?
We do have a hive. And then I have a new thing with bees. I guess this will be the coming out party of it. And that is Be More. So BEE more, be more. And I'll tell you more about that in the coming weeks.
I like that.
Oh, that sounds good.
Be more.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice.
It's a way for us to give back to other people and utilizing cryptocurrency and crypto literacy to help other nonprofits and special projects to really expand what we're doing in the world with the whole bee community. So it'll be about loving back on our bees while we're paying it forward as well. So
wow,
very exciting. Yeah. Oh, I suppose I should tell you other things. So I'm considered a publicist. I own the Red Carpet Connection. Red stands for relevance, enthusiasm, and delivery. So when you hit
frozen again.
Can you remember what you said? Red stands for?
No.
Relevance.
Something.
Enthusiasm and delivery.
Enthusiasm and delivery. I like that.
You got it.
Yeah.
R-E-D.
When you do all three, you hit your target market every time.
I like it.
Yeah. And I do 80 million other things. So there's pretty much
Tell
no
us about
industry
the
that
smiles.
I've not been in. Oh, thank you. That's my big baby here. The Keep Smiling movement.
I love it.
We are a nonprofit, Marty, and all of you watching. So we save lives with smiles by creating a dose of hope.
Nice. Yes.
DOSE stands for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins that you get when you smile. You flood your brain down. And so we're a mental and dental health organization because when you smile, you activate your brain. And when you activate your brain, you smile. So, yeah. So we're doing a lot this year. We're really excited about
acronyms.
I do have more acronyms.
Do you?
But I won't say them. Yeah. We tell people, when we talk about hope, hope stands for hold on, pain ends. So really, we teach people how to be resilient so they can keep smiling through any troubles. So we have different books.
Well, look at that. Hope is dope.
Yeah. Hope is dope. Hope is dope is a real fun book. It's it's shorter stories about who inspires you. We have Dose of Hope that I did not bring, somehow didn't make it here with me. That one tells different stories. Colin just told me his story for Dose of Hope. And then we have this one too. This is my women's empowerment book.
That's nice.
Yeah. So we have over 250 books of these different genre. Every book's different.
Yeah, it's a nice size too. It's a nice size, readable size. Big font for older folks or what?
Oh, you're gonna like it, Marty, because if you're saying you need big font, how about just a picture book?
That's fantastic.
Here, I think we have here.
You might be able to give away one of these to our guests, Colin, to one of the winners tonight, to the listeners.
Oh, we could do something fun. Here, I'll do this fun for Ken. His son is in here. An old picture of him. We've got Toby Keith there.
Oh yeah.
Oh nice.
So celebrity inserts. It's like a celebrity.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here's here we have this one. You got Matthew McConaughey here and Butch Patrick there. And yeah, lots of fun, really
Tell
cool
us
people.
about some of your celebrity activities with your red carpet. We're Startalk. Let's talk about some stars that you've had.
That's why I was showing you some fun pictures of them. So, all right. So I'll tell you my funniest.
Too, right?
I am also a photographer. Yeah. So I've taken some of these fun pictures of these amazing people. It's so fun. All right, so my funniest story ever is it's also related to pinball because that's how I ended up meeting him. Was with Gene Simmons, who I've met now several times. I've been with him with Hugh Hefner because I got invited to the Playboy Mansion because I also own another business and I do consulting for people in their relationships. And so I got invited to come by Hugh. I got a personal invitation to come. So that was cool. And I've been there twice. Once when he was super healthy and one when he was ailing. Okay, I'll tell you that story first. So when he was ailing, he came out. And it was during Halloween, and so they had a haunted house in one of the buildings. And he's wearing, of course, the jacket, the
smoking jacket, the robe.
Oh yeah, the Playboy, Frozen in time.
Frozen.
There I am. I love this teaser for the stories. Like it's just a teaser. So anyhow, I'm letting you know right now. Once you get over 80, you should probably stop wearing that as your outfit. Because it looked like pajamas now. It did not go well. I was like sad. I was like, oh, that doesn't look good. But he was very polite. I got to talk to him. We were right there together.
You weren't
say that again?
You weren't thrown out.
No, not at all.
You were welcome.
I was very welcome. Yeah. People always like me, Marty.
She was invited.
And, invited.
Yeah, very nice.
So Gene, I was
Gene
at
Simmons.
So I met him a couple times because of the he has a he owns all the trademark for everything the Kiss pinball machine. Of course, he was there as one of the celebs, and I think that was the first time I met him. And then we were at a really big party that night, and he was there and came in with these two women, and they're all being all sexy smoochy. And he comes up to me, and I'm with my daughters at the time, and they were, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8. And he looks at me like this. He goes, and looks me from head to toe, stopping at certain spots and then looking at my eyes again. And he goes, then he looks at my kids and then he goes, are these your kids, your girls? And I said, oh, yes, they are. And he goes, obviously the fruit of your loins.
Whoa.
Okay, well, this is we'll keep this show
What do
PG.
you say when somebody says that? So I go, thank you. Because what else? I was like, here's my children. I was like, that is the awkwardest, weirdest thing to say to me. And the funniest part about that is that was recorded on Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. So I'm actually was on that episode.
Excellent.
And
oh,
yeah. So I used to work in law enforcement. So when I got home, it aired like months later. And a friend of mine calls my house in the middle of the night, who I used to work with at the police department. And he's like, Andrea, I know it's the middle of the night. Was that you on Gene Simmons' Family Jewels? And I go, oh my gosh, did I make it? Did I make the cut? I made the show. And he goes, I didn't see it. I was in the kitchen and I heard, thank you. And I said, that's Andrea.
He knew your voice. That's amazing.
He knew my voice.
Okay, so photographer, relationship expert, now TV star. What else? Book author.
I do musicals and plays and theater, cryptocurrency. Yeah, I'm a.
So tell us a little bit about the crypto. I mean, a lot of people are just starting to get into that, and you're part of the Women of Crypto, and Chris in the chat gave you a shout out, as did Lori.
Oh, nice.
Nice to see Andrea. So what is the Women of Crypto, and what would you say to other women that might be watching this show right now that don't know anything about it?
Well, Julia Ferris and Ellen Harris and some of the other women originally started the show Women of Crypto. And then at some point I was asked to come in and help them, which I was so excited because I've been wanting to do one since April of 2020 when I first got involved, because I want people to know about what's happening. So really the Women of Crypto came about because the women realized that it's a male heavy dominant world, and they realized it was a really opportune time for us to level up the playing field, especially for women, minority status or other countries, to be able to be real leaders, especially if they're bringing it into their communities. And so Women of Crypto has really been about, usually we try to have a lot of women on, although we do have men on as well, because it's about this being informative and being educational. And, lots of times I giggle because there's things that I'm learning that I don't know yet either. And that's okay. It's to let people know it's okay that you can be involved in this world. And every day we're learning something new. I learned new stuff today. It just blows me away. And it's really exciting because it keeps.
Was that from them or from the bees?
Frozen.
For his own.
I just crack up with all of this. Yeah, I don't know what you asked me. I didn't hear what you asked.
You said you learned some interesting things today. Was that from the bees or from the Women of Crypto, or just on your own?
Well, it was from people outside of the bees, but it was because I was looking for information for the bees, and then I shared it with some bees. So I'll be talking about it on previous our shows coming up in the future. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Super fun. And then I suppose I should tell you guys my Sir Anthony Hopkins story. I always tell this one on stage because I have the most connection to him. I just adore him. He was presenting and I was also, so we got to share the stage together. And I got to.
Sir Anthony Hopkins. That's quite an honor.
That cracks me up. So I'm watching him, hear everything he's saying, and he's wearing a black and white suit, and he has on red socks and a red watch. And I wear red every day of my life. I have since 2013. I'm trying to remember what year I met him, somewhere in between 2013 and 2019, or probably like around 2015. Anyhow, we were backstage talking together and just hanging out, and he shared a whole lot about things with me. He just talked about life. He was so friendly, so open, so gregarious.
Yeah.
And at one point we were talking, he goes, "Ah, yes, I remember you." And he's whispering now. "Yes, the pretty."
Croissant. It's the mystery answer. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
What's
He
gonna
was
come?
whispering. It's
What's gonna
whispering.
come?
And I say, "Yes, yes, that's me." And he goes, "Yes, yes, the pretty girl in the red dress in the second row." And I said, "Yeah." And then he says it again, and I'm like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Mm." And so then he asked me a question. I'm answering it, and he's looking at me, and he goes, "Yes, yes, red dress, second row." And it was actually almost, it was like, this is really cool and really creepy at the same time. And then it wasn't until later. I have another piece of that story though, but later, months later, I was talking about movies that scared me as a child. And the most terrifying movie to me my whole life was the movie Magic. And I went to the Blockbuster because there still was one open at the time, and wanted to order it, or it was like a family video. I wanted to order it. And they said, "Oh, who's the main character?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And they look it up and they go, "Oh, it's Anthony Hopkins." And all of a sudden, I realized why that, yes, yes, that was that ventriloquist creepy doll sound. So he was talking to me in
Oh,
that voice. Ah. So, but the thing that he said that touched my heart so much is I asked him, I said, you were talking and sharing on stage about how you always have all these people, these mentors and coaches for every movie that you've ever done. Tell me what leads you to do that. And he said, "Andrea, it's when you want to hone your craft, you never can be good enough. You always do whatever it takes to do more." And he goes, "And I always have 3 to 5 different experts, whether it's dialect, dance, movement,
Yeah.
whatever it is, because you always can do better." And
Yeah.
that really touched my heart because I believe that I'm always learning and always wanting to do more. That's why I do so many things in the world, because I feel like we have an obligation to learn what else is out there and then to share that with other people.
Beautiful.
wow, that's wonderful.
It is.
And that's
Yeah.
really, I mean, mentorship is a very important thing these days, especially for so many people in isolation now. There seems to be this incredible need for connection, and it's right in your name, the Red Carpet Connection. So
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
wonderful.
Thank
So
you.
if you were to kind of give a shout out here to all the people that are in the chat, people that are watching YouTube, and what are you passionate about these days? Like what's top of the list now?
Well, so Keep Smiling is one of my biggest babies, and teaching
Right.
people to be resilient and to live on. And so now what we've done is with what we've done with the bees, taking that and creating Be More. So Be More is about taking those the assets and the way that we've already learned and furthering that to help other special projects and nonprofits to be more. Because one of the things with financial literacy is it's really difficult. It's not as easy to learn financial literacy if you don't have any of the money to help you move that, especially within a nonprofit. So if we could teach them to be self-sustainable through crypto knowledge and crypto literacy by inviting them in and finding different methods to bring organizations and projects in to love on other people so that we can bring them into the B community and tell them about, M2.cash and our balancer pool and all these other wonderful things that are coming up in our, you know, socialbees.io, where you can do NFTs and all the fun games that we're playing. That's another method for us to invite people in to be more so that they become bees. So
Wow. Well, let me
that's
stop
what
you
I'm
right
really
there.
passionate. Mhm.
One of the things that came up on the one of the Startalk live shows a week or so ago is I was struggling to explain to my mother what an NFT is, and I guess from a guy's point of view, where we
He
get a
was
little too
struggling to explain to his mother about maybe virtual reality and crypto.
what an NFT is. So, how would you describe in simple layman's terms what an NFT
Define
is?
NFT.
How would you describe
Yes,
it for
I
your
can.
mother?
So, so how I described it to my grandmother who, by the way, we just buried her on Sunday.
Oh,
And
Yes, my
thank you, Colin,
condolences
for
for that.
sharing that song. These
Yeah.
Old Bones by Colin. If you look it up on YouTube, he wrote a song
Yeah.
for his grandmother, and he
Yeah.
shared that. So I had explained an
That's
NFT to my grandma just a couple weeks ago. And I explained to her that when I take a picture, like that picture I showed you guys on my phone,
Yeah.
when we
Oh,
show
man.
somebody a picture, now I own that picture technically because it's on my phone. However, no one knows I own this picture.
True.
So it's a digital
Right.
asset, or whether it's a video or a song or a book, I own it, but I don't have any certificate of
Of ownership.
authenticity. So when something's an NFT, it's letting people know that you have purchased it and you have ownership of this. And so it belongs to you. So this picture, this song, this book, it can be used literally as a picture, song, or book, but it also can be utilized as an opportunity for people to use it as a ticket to get into a concert or to join a membership, to be in a club. It could be used as a tithing for your church or for a social organization where you donate it or donate some of the
Right.
proceeds from selling it, trading it, playing a
Right.
game with it. And that's what a non-fungible token is. It's just a digital asset,
Fungible.
something that we have stored within our computers and phones.
Well, and Marty's been showing us a lot of collectibles. Earlier in the show, we saw some very, very rare pieces, whether it was the Beatles or Rod Stewart or any of those. And
Yeah, I love the
a
Rod
lot of
Stewart.
a lot of things that are happening within the NFT world is there's rare, different versions of different images with rarities attached to them, and then game theory behind it. And it seems to be really exciting for people. And I know we have lots of very wise people, most of them are bees in the chat right now, but I always like to find out from people how they would explain it in the most simplest terms, so we
You
get
did
to
a great
that.
job.
Yeah,
But
there's two
you
other
did great.
pieces I add to that. When I talk about utilities, so what the things I just described is using them for other purposes, that's your utilities, and your like derivatives are, I compare that to if you have an art piece, or if you're I'm going to do a shout out to my friend Tim Cox tonight. He
Yeah.
loves the Oregon Ducks. He's the reason I'm here in Sarasota tonight. With people who are, whether they're in sports or they're in something else, they when they have, let's say they have a jersey or they have something signed. Like I used to have a whole collection of Pete Rose stuff, all signed.
Wow.
Or if you have a lithograph that's signed, each one of those is slightly different, if only by number, because it was the first one minted
Correct.
or the last one minted. That's the
Right.
same thing with a derivative. It's just, is there a variance, or is it a different number in how it came out? And
True.
that's the difference between the non-fungible tokens. That's how I describe them.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to, if there's anybody in the chat that has any questions, maybe they're relationship questions or cryptocurrency questions, throw it into the chat. Usually right about this time, we bring Garnet on, and he's going to talk a little bit about Starwire and the projects that we've been working on, and with a little update on the goats. I see a lot of people asking about goats in the chat.
Yes.
So Garnet, there's more people joining us every couple minutes here. So why don't you come on, Garnet? And have you? Now you've met Dr. Andrea before, right?
Of course.
Lots.
Yeah, and actually, that the fact of our relationship is, I guess, highlights one of those great things about being an owner of an NFT. When you're in the same sort of club as someone else, when you're in this group together and you share, an NFT in common, what happens is you end up wanting to help each other, because the more help you get, and the more value that gets put into those NFT series, like everyone wins. And Andrea and I, she's been introducing me to a bunch of her connections that are very powerful people who are in a position to really help and further the cause what we're doing at Starwire and the Goats, and it is exciting. Some of those things, I was going to ask you guys, here's a question for all three of you, which is, can you recall a moment when you had a secret? It was like this amazing news and you weren't allowed to tell it. So you had a secret and you weren't allowed to tell it. And how did you deal with that? Or did you tell the secret? Or what? Did you spill the beans? Or are you a good secret keeper?
I'm
Marty?
giggling because I have a really big secret that I can't wait to tell all of you bees, but I can't tell you yet. It's huge.
Yeah.
I kept a secret for a long time. I don't know if I should tell the secret or not.
No, don't tell him.
You still can't tell it.
No, you don't tell him.
Gosh, he held it all those years and then he gives it away like that.
Mine are zero disclosure. So
They're secrets.
I didn't actually ever promise to keep that secret, but
well, you don't want to be the first one to blow the whistle.
all right. I won't tell you.
Silence is golden, my friend. Silence.
The reason, this is a secret that is going to come out. It's going to come out on February 23rd.
But that's
but it's a secret about the goats.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. And it's for the goats and it's about a goat. I think Marty and Colin knows what the secret is, but it's gonna be fun.
We were sworn to secrecy by Garnet. So
so they can't tell either. But it's gonna be awesome, and we're gonna let you guys know while we're in Phoenix there. The secret is gonna be revealed in Phoenix, and anyone who's holding
big
Star, anyone who's been a part of our project for these years, you're gonna love this. It's gonna be fun. On the topic of NFTs, I do want to kind of take a couple moments just to comment on what Colin and Andrea were talking about, the idea of NFTs. And every week we do this show, and sometimes, for all you guys listening, you guys are like NFT OGs, right? Like you guys have been in, so many chats, but I do want to take things back to make maybe a simpler level. Maybe this is the first time you've ever watched Startalk and you've heard, some of this chat about crypto. So this is for some of you people, and maybe we do want to simplify things a little bit. So let me, I'm going to just share a screen here for a bit. I will add this here. There we go.
Wow.
Okay, so first of all, Starwire is going to be releasing a series of NFTs, or these these collectibles, right? Now, they were created for a purpose, and two main things. What NFTs can be designed to do a lot of things, but these ones in particular were programmed to bring together collaboration and innovation in our particular space in the entertainment business, particularly in the movie industry and in music industry. These NFTs, when they're put out there, they're going to bring together collaborations from people who are already innovating in that space. So that's what, first of all, they were designed to do. Now moving on here. Wait. Whoa, that's too fast. Okay, so here's a couple samples of the ghosts. Now we say we are motivated and focused. Now every community, they've got their own particular, they've got their vibe, right? So number one, we're motivated and we're focused on two things: music and movies. some people made a joke. They were like saying, "You guys are motivated for, oh, you're the mofo goats." Well, that's the nickname. So, number one, NFTs are collectibles. Anyone who's ever played a collectible game, whether it's Pokemon cards or collecting McDonald's Monopoly pieces, NFTs act like collectibles. And in a collection, you'll often find there are some more rare than others. And I know, Marty, you were saying that isn't there a service where you can send in your collectibles or your cards, and what do they do to appraise them?
Service to evaluate, like you say, Garnet, anything, whether it's sheet
They
music,
grade them.
money, whatever, tokens, but also sports cards, non-sports cards, comic books. And you're right, the oddball thing could turn out to be the most valuable thing ever. Like, for example, here, unexpected, but for Andrea's benefit, happens to be a graded Beatles cover on a romance comic, graded 3.5. Now that, in all my years of collecting romance comics, I have never seen the Beatles cover. This came from a guy's personal collection at a show, and I was helping him out on the way out, just giving a helping hand, and said, "You mind if I peruse through your graded books?" And I spot this. I said, in my mind, there's no way that I'm leaving this show without this. And
That's a great cover.
This is one of my valued possessions, because it had been graded, and it's only a 3.5 out of 10. So it's not a big 50%er even, but the fact that it exists and the fact that it was the owner's own personal comic, and I bought it from the owner who had the insight to get it graded and valued, was a real buzz for me.
Right.
Buzz, no bees intended.
So one of the things with NFTs, unlike in the real world where, if you buy a collectible on eBay, you're always, taking the chance that this is a fake. And unless, it, like Marty's there, it's graded by a known person. So what happens with NFTs in the blockchain, you're able to verify that this particular collectible is exactly what it says it is, right? So I guess they're automatically graded, and it's a source of truth that, when you have a rare NFT, yes, someone could take a snapshot of the picture, but they can't replicate the way it's been registered on the blockchain. So this is one big bonus, and this is why NFTs are so popular, because it takes that whole kind of trust factor out of it. When you have a rare NFT, there's no one that can fake it. They often do try. An example of that is a lot of times when new projects launch, they'll take a copy of the picture and they'll put it up there. But for anyone who's able just to check the background, the metadata of that particular collection, you'll see it's a complete fake, and it's worthless, right? So that's a big bonus with NFTs. The second thing is access, and you guys talked about this as well. An NFT, number one, it can be access to a club. It can be access to online teaching material, or even access to a show like the Phoenix NFT show,
right?
NFT Connect in Phoenix. An NFT proves that this is not a fake ticket. That's another, example where people try to scam you. They'll try to sell you tickets to a concert that are fake, and there's no way to, back in the olden days, you couldn't verify the tickets. Marty, I'm sure you have a ton of stories about
Oh yeah,
people trying to get into shows with fake tickets.
absolutely.
Yeah. So this is another area where NFTs are a very powerful source of access. So another way you can use NFTs can be a financial instrument. You say, okay, what does that mean? And again, this is something that NFTs really begin to show their power. You can have a cool Pokemon card, even a super cool, rare vinyl LP, but there's no way to really bake banking instruments into a piece of plastic vinyl or a Pokemon card. But with NFTs, this is possible. And I'll just share with you an example.
That's quite the goat.
This is one of our StarWire, what we call asset-backed NFTs. Cool. It's still an art-based NFT, but what happened with this particular NFT? The person who bought it, maybe it was a $5,000 deposit, was placed into a liquidity pool, which is earning that particular person revenue, and they earn sort of the charges, similar to an interest rate. But in the early days when people bought crypto, they would just say buy Bitcoin and hold it, or buy Ethereum and hold it. This particular NFT represents a type of financial instrument that lets you hold those funds in a liquidity pool that earns you exchange fees during the whole time. Cool. In the same way, part of what we talk about at StarWire is smart contracts. Right. The idea of sharing revenue from a song or from a film. Those smart contracts can be embedded into an NFT just like this, which, again, has the ability to earn revenue coming into this particular wallet address associated with an NFT. And that can be traded to someone else, or even an asset like this. You could even take a loan with something like this because it has an intrinsic calculated value to it. So again, it is an image, but it's a banking asset, so a banking instrument. So this is just 3 examples of how powerful these things called NFTs are. We talked about access. It could be a conference, or this is a picture from the Glastonbury, one of the biggest outdoor music festivals in the UK. Beautiful. So there's many uses to them. The actual Goats NFTs will be available soon. If you stand by and just listen in on our Discord, we're going to be giving you more information on when these particular NFTs will come up for sale. And the way that you can participate, if you've never purchased an NFT before, it does take place. It will be taking place on what we call the Ethereum network. And rather than purchasing these with a credit card or with Canadian or US dollars, you would purchase these with Ethereum. You might say, well, why is that so important? Why do we have to purchase these on an entirely different network? What's the matter with our own banking system? And what makes the Ethereum network powerful is when we transfer funds from one wallet to another, you actually are taking personal ownership of those funds. There is no middle person. There is no middleman in holding those funds for you. For those of you following the news this week, you might have heard the story about a company called Gofundme. Well, a bunch of people were trying to send funds to their particular charity, and then GoFundMe all of a sudden said, hey, we're not sending it to that. We're gonna give it away to our own charity that we think is better. And that's the idea of a middleman getting in between the funds. And so like you all of a sudden you realize, whoa, wait a minute, I thought I was in control of where those were going. And in fact, you weren't. And
that's a good analogy. Well, we got about a minute left, and maybe Dr. Andrea, did you learn something more about NFTs? What did you think of those goats?
Well, there are some secrets that I've known about. So what I learned is I'm really good at keeping secrets that I get to hear on a show get released.
There we
Did
go.
I out you, Garnet?
Yes.
I'm hearing a bit of an echo. I don't know if you guys are too, but
We are.
Oh yeah.
You want to do a shout out for Phoenix? Andrea, do you want to tell the folks a little bit about that?
Yeah.
You're the publicist. Let's leave it up to you to close the show out here. Oh, we got to do a giveaway
So
too.
I don't know why we have an echo.
What happened here? What are we seeing here?
I don't know why I can't get through.
There
There we
So
go.
since we can't see it, I'll go ahead and describe it. It's NFT Connect.1. And this is an amazing, fun cryptocurrency conference. You're seeing here our headliner is none other than DJ Snoopadelic, known as Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
The dog.
And Deanna Wheeler will be opening for him. There's going to be all kinds of different speakers at different levels, from beginner to advanced.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That echo is cracking me up.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should do the giveaway tonight, Garnet. I think we should do a whitelisting, and also if Andrea has a book that she wants to smile about and offer to whoever the winner is, why don't we do that?
Colin's got an echo too.
Well, that's
I can
because
give
we're
away my
overtime.
gift.
All right.
So what I can do is I can give a book, an ebook, to everyone listening.
Wow.
Wow. To everybody else. Do I get one?
Everyone.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So I don't know how to stop that echo, but hopefully you guys can hear me. It's www.thekeepsmilingmovement.com. Go to that website and fill out the information to get your free book.
Wow.
Fantastic. We're all echoing all over the place, so apologies to the people on YouTube.
Not myself.
All right. Free the goats is what you want to write if you want to be entered for this draw.
For the white list, right?
For the white list. This is on the white list for the goats. We've had, helps you skip all that fun whitelisting process in our Discord channel, but don't skip, because we like you guys in our Discord channel. I enjoy seeing everybody come in there and say good morning and good night. And, it's awesome. We're going to see our community the same way, we've seen the bees go from, hundreds to thousands. We're going to see the goat community go crazy. And such amazing people are coming into our community, such, super cool people.
Well, thanks, Dr. Andrea, for being on with us tonight. It was a real,
definitely.
And I know I'm echoing, so I apologize for that. I'll be short. I'll just say your smile is infectious, and the keep smiling thing is just a wonderful thing, and we'll promote that. And here we go. Free the goats.
Carry on. There it is. Keep smiling, baby. Thank you. Here we are.
I get an echo
And
from
I'm
you now.
excited. I didn't even give you all of my Star Stories yet. So yay.
Oh, well, we'll just have to have you back.
You're such a great guest. You'll have to be returned.
In the meantime, I got a plane to catch. Thank you, everybody, for being on Star Talk Live with Colin and Marty, and tonight, Garnet and Dr. Andrea Adams-Miller. Wonderful guest. We definitely want to have you back.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Safe trip, old friend. Safe trip.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We're still live. We're still live.
Adios.
Adios, amigos. Adios, my friends. We're still live. I can't hear Garnet, but we are still live. So I love the books.
Yeah, I was going to say keyword
Hashtag keep
management.
smiling.
Right.
Make sure you send your wallet address in our Discord channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So end the broadcast that you're Roll.
Here we go.
Here it goes. We're counting out.